Training for Mallorca, we're now just 3 weeks, actually 2 weeks, 6 days to go until race day. It's not a race, till ride day, it's a ride. This week has been a pretty good week. If we take a quick peek at training peaks, boom, no pun intended. I did alright actually, just a little bit yellow today. Ride was a little bit shorter than I had planned, but it is Easter Sunday, what can you do? Good news is though, we're into the 61, fitness is up, into the 60s, 61 to be precise. I seem to have been stuck in the 50s for months. With it now at 61, my aim was to go to Majorca at 70. Not sure I will quite get there, but we'll see how close we can get before we go. So looking back at this week's training, it has been a pretty solid week, and with it being Easter as well, I managed to sneak in an extra day with a longer ride outside, and the best news ever is the weather here is actually starting to warm up. I managed to peel off a few layers, jettison the winter tights, get rid of the headband, keep my ears warm, which meant I could get the pit vipers back out and look cool once again. I even today got the gloves off at some point. Amazing. So hopefully that continues. So this week's training, Monday aerobic session, Tuesday was a 2 workout Tuesday, threshold into sweet spot, and then in the afternoon did a strength training session. Wednesday aerobic, zone 2, Thursday again more of a hill rep session, so threshold and sweet spot, and then Friday was a public holiday here, so I managed to get out, just went for a nice ride, weather started to warm. Yesterday was a good one, kept it quite simple, but went along, got the canyon out, the tyres, managed to fix the tyres, they stayed inflated overnight, which was a bonus. Went out down the canal towpath and then back through one of the local commons here, so getting out off-road, nice to mix it up a little bit. And then today, to push a little bit of a harder, longer session in, so we cycled out to a local climb, went up to the top of there, was a little bit chilly at the top by the time we got there, but having descended, sun came out, all was nice. Let's hope it's now starting to get into the warmer weather. So that was last week. The week's just been training, went well. Let's look ahead to next week, because this coming week is going to be the key week really. I guess it's the last chance to get some decent level of intensity in before we start having to taper. So looking at what's coming up. Tomorrow, Monday, will be a little bit of a recovery day, so rest day. I don't think I've had a rest for probably 10 or 11 days or so, thinking about it. Yeah, about that. So be nice to just take it easy for once. Tuesday, 2 workout Tuesday. Starting off though with a morning aerobic session, so just zone 2 on the turbo, I expect, and then a strength workout in the afternoon. Wednesday, another zone 2 aerobic session. Thursday, more of a hill rep session, so drill down into that a little bit. And when we get into it, so 1 rep of 4 minutes at just over FTP threshold, 1 rep 8 minutes at sweet spot around that tempo threshold zone, and then finish off with 2 reps of 10-minute, again, sweet spot stuff. So that sees us through to Thursday, Friday, recovery day, and then the plan is next weekend trying to get some decent volume in. The 312, which I'm not doing the 312, I'm definitely not doing that. Yeah, I have been targeting the 224, 225, I can't remember, what is it, what's a kilometre between friends? It's just been a number to now, but now I've started to actually figure out the maximum I have ridden within the last few months has probably been 100k, 120 kilometers, and that's obviously nowhere near where I need to be. We're going to try and do a bit of a test next weekend and do back-to-back 100 mile, so 160k rides. Let's see how the legs are doing. Let's see how I can recover from one day to the next and go out and do it again. So again, both of those, not really pushing it, trying to stick at heart rate zone 2 all the way, just keep a steady pace out. If I do encounter any little climbs or hills, don't try and cane it up them. Keep at a steady pace, but just go for that volume rather than intensity, and try and put in 200 mile, 160k back-to-back rides. And then if I can get those done, I should feel pretty confident that I am in a good place to go for the middle distance, 225 kilometre ride. We'll see how that goes. That's the plan. Weather hopefully is good. Childcare issues might be another tricky thing, but we'll see if we can solve that by the time the weekend comes around. But really that's the last chance I've got, I reckon, to get some proper volume and intensity in before I then start to take it out and try not to get too fatigued as we get to within less than 2 weeks to go. So that's what I've got coming up. Check back in next week, see how this week's training goes, and then look at what comes afterwards as we really start to get right to the end point, and I need to start packing my case and packing the bike up. let's see how it goes.